Franz, I can't join the game. Oh, you blocked me, didn't you? I did. Oh my gosh, we got a full field here today, boys, don't we? Got the pace car. Got, looks like Nook on pole. Watermelon Trey. Vex. Oh. Connor. Chris. Who is this on this turd taker account? Is this 34 or? Who's that in the 47? Friends, let me know when we go live. Friends, are we live? So are we live or no? Dude, you never told me. All right. Green flag flies here at Nashville. We got Nook and Watermelon through the first turn, side by side. Nook gonna clear now down the back stretch. She's got Pickle Chris on the back bumper. Into 3 and 4. Watermelon diving to the inside. Nook looking to use that high line, get clear. Nook gonna come around the outside. Let's see what he can do there. Chris right on their bumpers. Chris just gonna stay there in third. Melon still to the inside. They make contact. Nook now losing time. Melon gonna clear him. Nook looking for the crossover. He's gonna get it. Nook clear to the lead, and Chris also gonna go to the inside. That was like a road course move. It looked like one guy got to the inside, and the next guy just came through and followed him by. Chris now looking for the lead on Nook. They go low. They're gonna slide up. Chris, I think they might have made slight contact there. Oh, Melon around. Oh, big wreck in the back. Melon, the 47. Bruns, who's that 47 car? Is that 34? What do you mean? Is that not Chris in the 34? We have the first yellow of the day for a wreck in the back. The 47, 18, and the 97 all collected. I have no idea what happened. It looks like they just lost control there down the front stretch. But we will see. Pits are going to be open this time. The field down the back stretch. We'll see what happens. Can the 34 maintain his lead? Can the 77 take it? We've seen some good racing between these guys out here. But Watermelon going to be in the back now due to being involved in that incident. How is he going to deal with traffic? Is he going to be very aggressive, or is he going to be calm, take it slow, and just relax? He knows he's got a fast car, so he could just relax. But we'll see what approach he chooses to take once we get in there. They will be coming to the choose next time by Nook leading the field. 34 behind him, and we got the 22, 47, 97. And then I believe back behind that, I actually have no idea. Oh, I get what you're saying. Wait, so the 47 is Chris's brother. Oh, I was so confused. So we have Chris and then we have little Chris. Thank you, Nico. That's helping me a lot. I got so confused. So we got little Chris and Chris. Nook and Chris on the front row, followed by Vex and Nico. And we got little Chris and Watermelon behind him. Down the back stretch, the field going to come to turns 3 and 4. Coming to the restart zone to go green. Nook leading the pack. Chris on his outside. We saw these two having a great battle for the lead. Let's see, will this battle continue once we go back green? We got the Kriggle in the lead. Green flag back in the air. Nook and Chris. Nook can get the better jump here. He's going to clear, I believe. Vex now looking on the inside of Chris. Chris going to cover him off. What's Chris going to do? He's going to dive it to the inside. He's going to back out, though. He's slow on the bumper of Vex. They all check up. Watermelon bumps him. Chris to the outside now. He's got Vex, Nico, and Watermelon on his inside. Nico going to back out, though. 3 wide for second. 3 wide for the lead now. The 22-97 make contact. 97 up the inside. Now it's the 97 and the 77 battling for the lead. Nook going to hold it now. He's going to lead that lap. But Watermelon right here on his bumper there. Nose to tail. It's Nook, Watermelon. And then we've got Vex. We got Little Chris. We have Chris. And then we have Nico as well. Little Chris up to third now. Following behind these leaders. He's looking to make a charge. He's going to go to the Nook. Big dive. He spins it. Oh, no, he saves it. What a save.
Hey, NASCAR guy, this is Big Mist in the booth. You got me?
No. Anyways. And Watermelon going to lead that lap now. Little Chris sends it up inside of Nook, making them both lose time. Watermelon now with a decent gap back to Nook, Little Chris, and Big Chris is going to take this race. Melon leads him still. Nook seemed to gain there in 1 and 2 when he doesn't have Little Chris sending him. What a save by those two. Surprised that no one actually wrecked there. They were about as close to wrecking as you could get. But now let's look a little further back in the pack. Look at Vex now. Chris gonna get by Little Chris. Vex on the back bumper of Little Chris now. Vex
Melon almost got the fence off too.
Vex to the outside of Little Chris for fourth. Into 3 and 4. Can Vex do it? Vex gonna take the side by side. Little Chris looking to clear. I think he will slide job it. Vex now gonna get the run off of 4 though. Clear for fourth. This battle seems really insignificant when you consider how many cars are in the race, but let's be honest, it doesn't matter. Look at Nico.
Nico's still your leader.
Nico into
right
the wall
now,
in the back.
77 of Nook closing in that gap. Coming way down on the backstretch. Nook got a very good runoff too, and he'll drive it down low. He is now about a car length off the back bumper, the 97. That is Melon out in front of this thing, driving the Wonder Bread Talladega Night Scheme, trying to take this thing to a win, but he got a great exit to turn 4 and was able to stretch that gap back to the 77 of Nook.
Nook now is looking to the inside again. I think he's going to get a really good runoff too. He seems
Melon
to be really.
Fence. Melon got the fence. Nook's going to go to the point.
Not yet. There's still the battle to be won if he wants that. They're side by side. Nook not going to clear quite yet. Yes, he will. Barely going to clear Watermelon off of 4. Back to the line, though. Still leaving open the inside, but it'll cover him down right as he comes to the line. They head back to 1. Watermelon going to dive it to the inside. Nook loves that outside. Melon going to slide up. There's going to be contact.
Up in the fence.
Nook.
Here comes Chris. They'll get there. Chris going to get there if they keep battling. That 34 of Chris just keeps getting bigger in the mirror of Melon and Nook. The 34 of Chris is locked in after this battle for the lead started, and he is now closing in on the race leaders of Nook and Melon. Now, quite a bit of time. There's a lot of racing left to be done. But you know, that is not what Melon and Nook are worried about. They are trying to get the lead, trying to get control, and put themselves in a position to pull away. Neither one of them can do that right now. The 77 has a nose and the point as well. But right now, the reality of it is, neither one of them have the pace to get away from one another.
Oh, I believe there was an incident in the back. Vex and something happened with the 47. Vex seemed to be stopped down in turn 2, and over his radio he said that the 47 should be getting a penalty. I did not see that incident. I'm not sure if the broadcast caught it, but
back to the bottom, the 77 Nook.
Vex not happy with Little Chris.
Nook is there trying to get by Nook, and he's trying to get by Melon, and now Nook will throw the slider. He's going to be clear, and that is what he wants right now. get clear, get a lap in where he's able to get some time on Mellon. The 97, he goes to the grass, spins from second.
Second time he's done that this race.
He's going to be able to save that.
This
But
time
he's still got to get back on track, and that will lose him quite a bit of time here in 97.
That will be the second time Mellon has spun down the front stretch that same way, it seemed, like that first incident. But this time he was battling up for the lead, not just in third, behind Chris and Nook. We'll see if Mellon can get back up here. He seemed to handle the track really well in that restart, though, earlier in the race.
Chris not having an exceptional run up to the 77 of Nook, but, just hanging around, making sure Nook feels his presence. And that's what you got to do in these races. NASCAR guy, we still have around 90 laps to go in this race. Keep your presence felt. Don't let him drive too far off. You don't have to be the fastest now. You got 90 laps to figure out lines, strategies, any way to get around the 77. This lap is not the end-all, be-all, but don't let Nook do what he just did, which is put a tenth of a second up on you like he did on Chris that last go-around.
Well, and you mentioned lines and strategies could become a big factor, but which one do you think will become a bigger factor this race, Mista?
Well, let's watch and see where everyone is on gas. Nook is 500 milliliters shorter than everybody else in the race. He is not in a good spot when it comes to gas. That strategy you're talking about is going to be crucial to talking about who makes it to the end of the race. But the reality of it is, that's more of a one-sided thing right now. Nook is the only one really buried by strategy, but, I think figuring out ways to get faster is going to be the way to get the win. And I think in terms of how Nook plays his cards here is going to be how he individually is able to finish this race out. But speaking of right now, Mellon is still right now the car to beat on track. And as I say that, he loses time on the 34 of Chris.
Chris seems to be catching Nook. I mean, I thought he looked like he gained time. That might have just been the way I was looking at it.
Yeah, and that's the mystique of watching angles here in these games, is that you're never exactly sure. All you know is what the board can tell you. But that lap, I can tell you for sure that Chris chunked into the lead of the 77 of Nook. Huge chunk into Nook.
I can't see the board. I have no idea how far behind these things are.
Took a much bigger bite out of it, and Mellon and Chris will be in the frame and racing for the point before this lap is over. 34 car, Chris looking around. He knows that he can get there. Nook just needs to make mistakes, and Chris just needs to keep hounding the bottom. Keeps closing. 34th Chris going to be there very quick.
Chris may even get there this time. I know his last time down in 1 and 2 especially, he gained a lot of time. He's going to use a different line, though, it looks like this time. Slightly different, at least. Chris down to the inside.
The lead.
He is now right on Nook's back bumper. Where will he go to try and make this pass, though? He's going to go down to the low lane where he's been so fast.
He's going to wash up
the apron, though, a little bit. He is right behind Nook.
He got a little shot to his momentum as they came off 4, and Mellon is reasserting himself the fastest car on the track. That time he gained 2/10 on Chris and 3/10 on Nook. Chris to the inside.
Chris to the inside.
34, Chris to the lead with Mellon now. Going to look around to seeing how he can get around this 2-car fight for the lead.
Now, one thing I do enjoy doing here, though, is watching the roof cams and the rear cams of these guys. It can really show you. I mean, it can't show you much, but it's a very different angle from the third person views. Now, boys, it's time to crank it up. Sponsored by my ceiling. Now, welcome back to your regular scheduled commentary. While we were cranking it up, Nook comes to the pit lane from second. Chris looked like he had to slow down a bit extra there to go underneath Nook when Nook came down pit road. But here comes Watermelon for the lead. Chris trying to come back at the inside, though. He moves him. Chris up the inside, side by side for the lead. It's going to be Watermelon at the line. Chris on the inside. Look at Nook up there, though, a bit in front of them. He lost almost a lap on the pits. Melon way up in the high side, though, very slow. Melon looking to the inside, his head down in 3 and 4. Melon going to take a big dive. It looks like. No, he's not. Chris can hold on the outside, I think. Yes, he will. Chris coming back to the line. He's going to hold serve as your leader. Now, as we get closer and closer to the rest of the field pitting, though, it looks like, based on what I can see, it's going to be Chris and Watermelon leading. I think it's probably going to be Little Chris in third. Little Chris is on pit road. Vex still on track. Nico still on track, I believe. Yep. Trey has rejoined the track as well. Having some early struggles, I believe, with Wi-Fi or some sort of technical issues. Let's go back to this battle for the lead, though. Melon diving it up the inside. Melon looks like he's going to get clear. Maybe not. It's going to be close. He will not. Little Chris is a lap down now, folks, after pitting. That's why you don't want to have a gap to the leaders. That way when you pit, you can afford to lose that time. You won't go a lap down. Chris now with Little Chris in his mirror, a lap down. Got to worry about the guy on his outside, though. Not the guys in his mirror. He's going to clear for the lead. I believe, almost side by side. Melon down the inside. Chris going to throw a block. Side by side as they head into turn 3. Chris up the inside once again, looking to clear. I believe he will. Yes, he will. Watermelon, though, once again, going to get back to his inside. These guys, every time one of them clears, the other one just finds a way to get back on their inside or outside. Keeps finding a way to get next to him. Neither one can take the lead and break away with it. They're both just in a constant battle for this. This is a really good fight, though, folks. If you came here to watch some racing, to watch some good racing, then this is exactly what you want. Melon gonna come down pit road now. Chris gonna take sole ownership of the lead. Nico battling with Little Chris. I believe Little Chris. I believe Nico's a lap down. I believe Nico's on the lead lap, so he should be in second now. Little Chris is a lap down, so I don't know why he's fighting with him. Let's see, what will Chris do? Chris gonna get slowed. Chris gonna come into the pits. Almost speeds, gets quite close there, folks. Chris gonna come in pit road. Now, I believe, no, Nico will not inherit the lead. Nico will come in. What will Vex do? Vex will also pit. Or just leave Nook. Nook on track right now, came out behind Melon. Maybe pitting earlier than them was not the right move for Nook because he came out a significant ways behind Melon. He is catching him, though. So it seems like Nook is faster than Melon, but let's see how he can do. Where's Chris going to come out relative to these guys? Chris going to come out a ways in front, but he's not up to speed yet. Melon going to be right on his bumper, it looks like. Melon going to go to the inside. Melon had to slow down a bit, though, to go around. Chris looking on the outside. Side-by-side contact, I believe. Oh, Nook gets in there. Chris around from the lead. Or from second, excuse me. Chris looking to save it. He will. He saves it into pit road now. Going to get it back going. Back up to full song. But what a heartbreak for this guy. Running second and just gets Looks like Nook just drove it in there too deep. I couldn't really tell. I think it looked like it may have been a combination of Melon going up his inside and Nook just really having nowhere to go. Chris going to get relegated now back to 4th behind Nico. And now the battle for the lead going to be between Nook and Watermelon. Nook with sole ownership of the lead right now, but Watermelon up his inside. Melon looking to clear for the lead into 1 and 2. Watermelon is not going to clear. Nook's going to stay on his outside. Nook down the back stretch, getting a run, I believe. Can he take it down in 3 and 4? Nook, I believe, has seemed to be a bit better down here in 3 and 4 most of this race. He gives him a shot. Goes to the inside. No, Melon going to clear, though, down the front stretch. Melon now with sole ownership of the lead. Could this finally be the break that Melon wants? Can he finally run off from Nook? Or will Nook make another move? As these guys have been doing all race long when someone's in the lead. This has been a very clean race, folks. So we'll see what happens here. Will this be a caution-free race, or will it be like Kentucky where it's clean early in the race? Like one early yellow, a big long green flag run, and then there's going to be a bunch of yellows at the end, folks. Kentucky was it was a good race. There was a yellow late, which kind of threw off about everything that they had been doing up to that point. Nook to the lead now. I believe Melon got in the wall. Melon down to the inside and Nook now. Can Melon clear? Melon will clear, I believe. Yes, he will, sir. Nook had to lift there, though, so he didn't get stuffed in the wall. We'll see what he does to Melon when he gets there. He looks back to the outside again. Nook likes this outside. This is different. We haven't seen many guys trying to go around the outside. I mean, we've seen them using it, but they haven't. Most guys haven't been like trying to. Chris, I cannot tell if he is tracking down Nico or if he's keeping the same gap. Let's watch Chris for a lap here. See what he's doing. Chris, I believe, caught Nico there, it seemed. Chris just, how unfortunate for him. He's just gonna have to hope for a yellow. Or these guys battling up front slows him down enough to the point where Chris can get up there. Nook in the lead, side by side with Melon, though. Melon gonna dive it up the inside, gonna poke his nose out in front. He's gonna get into Nook's door. They're gonna make contact off of 4. Nook, more contact. Nook gonna go to the inside of Melon. Nook wants this lead back. These guys have been having a fierce battle. We'll see what happens. Now Nook to the inside into 3 and 4 this time. He's gonna dive it in there. He's gonna clear for the lead. But Melon with a run back up the inside. Nook gonna get cleared off of 4. Melon back into the lead. If we're keeping track of lead change this race, it's gotta already be at like 50 or so. There's like a one every lap. There's like 2 of a lap actually. Really, it's just 2 ones of the racetrack. Melon though gonna get a good. He's not gonna. Well, Nook's not gonna get back to him though. But see, that's what you gotta do. You gotta set yourself at the corner before for the pass. Not only here, but especially in road course racing, you gotta do that. But in oval racing, you gotta do it. You gotta take a good line, and you gotta set yourself up for the pass. Excuse me, folks. I have no idea what's coming. Watermelon driving that Wonder Bread car. Nook driving the Chili's machine. Nico and the what kind of M&Ms is that? That is M&Ms popped. Those are quite good, folks. I've tried them. You can take it from me. Chris now in the, let's see, he's in the frontline machine. I have no idea what they make, so I can't make any jokes, any stupid jokes. Sorry. Little Chris driving the Chef Boyardee. Well, I've had some of their stuff, folks. It's not quite Michelin chef quality. It's not horrible, though. Vex driving the auto trader machine. Oh, car around, turn. Oh, on the front stretch almost. Never mind. Little Chris going to save it right as we were just talking about him. Almost goes around. He saves it, though. Going to keep his position in front of Vex. And Trey not too far behind them, trailing behind in the pink dreads machine. That is a nice paint scheme. It's kind of blank, but I don't mind blank schemes, folks. And if you do, then you're just a bum. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, let's go watch this battle for the lead again. Now that we've done your through the field. Nook up the inside. Oh, it's going to get tight off of 4. Nook, I believe, led off there. It was very, very nice of him. He was very lenient on how he let Watermelon survive there. Watermelon could cross him over, though. Into turn 2, Melon back to the inside. Nook did not get a good run off of 2. Watermelon going to claim the inside. It looks like a bit early. Nook going to bump him. Melon seems to be parking it on his bumper. Remember, folks, Nook is on an alternate strategy, these people, too. He has a decent amount less fuel than them. It seems like he has gained some, though, in terms of how far behind he is. Further back, Vex going to get by the 47. I don't know what happened there. He was a decent ways in front, and now he's behind him. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he spun or if Vex just ran him down. Trey now looking to try and overtake him. What about Chris? Chris back up into 3rd. He finally ran down Nico and got by him. Took him a while. Chris still has plenty of time left in this race. Chris also has a lot more fuel than both of these leaders do. Let's see. Where's everyone else in terms of gas? Chris seems to have the most now as I'm looking through the top 4. He's more than Nico. Trey merged, so Trey doesn't count. Little Chris, though, in a battle with Trey. Now, Trey up the inside of Little Chris. Little Chris is, I believe, right about where Nook is in terms of gas. Vex is right about where Nico is, slightly more, I believe. So, but yeah, Chris has the most gas out of everyone. So not only is he making time, he has the most gas out of everyone, too. Further back, though, in the back, Trey going to pass Little Chris for, I believe, that's 6th. So, Trey up a spot. But Little Chris not done with him yet. Gonna make a move. Oh, almost got Trey in the wall there. This battle for the lead is still ongoing. Though, as we cut back to the front, Nook back up the inside. There's battles all over this racetrack if you know where to look. Chris, though, already passed Nico only like 2 or 3 laps ago. Already put a gap on him trying to catch up to these leaders. You gotta wonder, though, how long until Nook pits or Watermelon? These two are not super, super far off in terms of gas. I'd be willing to bet whenever Nook pits, it's going to be maybe 5 laps until Watermelon pits after him. And that's being a bit generous as well. Watermelon is relaxing now in 2nd, pushing Nook. Is he going to make a move to the inside? He seems to be making lots of moves to the inside this race. Especially down 3, he will do another one. Melon down the inside. Can he get back by Nook? He's not going to clear him. He's got his nose out ahead, though. Nook, though, with a run on the outside. Melon, though, going to lead that lap. He's going to clear him as well. Melon back into 1 and 2 with the lead this time. Further back, we have Trey trying to pass Vex now. He's done battling with Little Chris. Little Chris has lost. Little Chris is in last now. And we got Trey up here to the inside of Vex, side by side, off of 2. Vex with the run. Trey just looking to keep an eye on his quarter panel. He will. They make slight contact. Not enough to wreck either one of them. Trey going to clear for the lead now. Or not the lead. I am so sorry. Clear for 5th. I apologize, folks. That's my fault. I've been so used to commentating this battle for the lead that I got myself confused. These guys are about half a lap back, though, from the leaders. Nook ducking onto pit road this time. And you got to wonder now, Nook did gain some in terms of how far off he was from the other two guys on gas. So, how soon until Watermelon and the rest of these guys pit? I'd say maybe 10 laps at most for when we see the rest of, at least most of the pack coming in. But will Little Chris come in? He came in about a lap after Nook last time on the pit cycle. So will he do that again? As we're already almost halfway through this race, kind of flies when you're watching a great battle. A couple of them. Nook not going to come out in last. Watermelon. Is he going to put him a lap down? No. Nook's going to have about that same gap he did last time he pitted. I believe Melon may be fuel saving, folks. I don't know if he is or if I just haven't paid enough attention to his line, but see, down into 3 and 4. Melon going to hit the apron slightly. Not a bad way, not in a bad way, in a good way. Melon leading now, trying to run down Nook, put him a lap down. Chris trying to run down Melon, but also trying not to let Nico get back to him. Trey and Vex still battling for this 5th position. Since they started, it really has not seemed like this battle stopped. It's been like the battle for the lead between Nook and Watermelon. It started and then didn't stop until pit stop came around. So I'm assuming the same thing's going to happen here. Little Chris in pit road now. I'm guessing the rest of these guys are going to have to pit soon, knowing how they are in strategy. They're all decently close. Trey looking like he's trying to take time to set up his pass. He's going to get a run off of 4, I think. It looks like he will. Vex going to keep the spot. Oh, yellow is out. What has happened? Something happened with Little Chris. He's slow in turn 2. He's also a lap down, but I believe he's the only car, so he should get the free pass. Well, this is going to throw strategy out the window. I believe Nico was involved in this, and Nico on the radio says, I was running my line. I have no idea what has happened here. I was looking at Watermelon, guessing when he's going to pit. Red flag, though. Red flag conditions. They're stopped. Oh, Little Chris went upside down. Whoa, what a incident here, folks, at Nashville. This has been quite the race. What a battle for the lead. Like I said, though, this race is this going to be another Kentucky? Clean until the end. And then once we get to the midway point in the end, it's going to be chaotic. Watermelon leads him now. Under the red flag. Once the red flag is lifted, I'm assuming they'll be able to pit this time or next time. And then they will come back to the green. We don't know who's going to lead them to the green yet. Will Nook stay out, though, or will he come in to top off? Because he had just pitted. Little Chris had just pitted. But, yeah, we will see what happens in terms of how strategy plays out. We will see. But no, this has been a really good race, folks. I mean, if you only enjoy racing for the wrecks and the incidents, then you're not a true racing fan. I'm going to be honest with you. It's my opinion. If you don't like it, then I don't really care. If you only like racing because of the crashes, then yeah, you're not a true fan. Now, if you enjoy racing though, due to the battles and I mean the crashes, yes, I'm not saying you can't enjoy them, but like that's the only reason you watch racing, then I mean, come on, you're not a true fan. Now, if you enjoy racing though because of races like this where it's constant battles back and forth, then yes, I would say you are a true racing fan. Nook gonna come into his box. Nook will come in and top off. Little Chris missed the line. Little Chris taking it to the garage. He's gonna park it for the day. He is done. Little Chris is currently... I apologize, folks. He is not done. He is just temporarily parking it for repairs. 4 wide, 3 wide as they came off pit road. Almost 4. We have Watermelon, though, going to come out in the lead. That's going to be Nico, Vex. Then it's going to be Nook. He came in to top off. He gained a few spots in pit road. We have Big Chris back in 5th. And then Trey in 6th. Little Chris, how long do we think these repairs will take, folks? Will it be a long repair or not? We will see. Watermelon, though, is going to lead them. I believe they're coming to the choose this time. Melon off of 4. Looks like he already knows where he wants to choose, just based on where he is on in terms of where he is on track right now. Nico going to go to the outside. The only other driver to go to the outside with him, though, going to be Trey. Big Chris, Nook, and Vex all went to the inside behind Nico. Green this time, folks. We will see who can win this race. I mean, we still got plenty of time. I believe it is a 107-lap race. Quite the distance here. Longer than Kentucky, and Kentucky's a shorter track than this. But we will see who can take the win here. Melon gonna lead him to the green. As through the restart zone, Melon gonna take the field to the line. The green flag waves once again. Melon moving Nico up the track. Trey gonna look to the outside, 3 wide. Nico gonna move Melon. There goes Nico to the lead. Trey rubbing up against Melon. Nook behind him, his old buddy they've been battling with all race long. And look at Chris, not too far back. No one is out of it at this moment. We will see what can happen. Nook gonna go in there, gonna bump Trey. He's gonna get into Nico. Melon, the lone car on the outside. These inside guys playing bumper cars. Melon saying, I don't want to mess around. Let me go. Melon around the outside. Nico, is he going to move up? No, he's not going to be able to rough him up for the lead. Melon going to take it. Nook now looking to the outside. He says, wow, what a line you have. I'm just going to copy that. Please let me. Bye. Nook, though, down to the inside. 3 wide for the lead. Nook, can he clear? Yes, he will. Barely, but then here comes Melon with the run. Melon to the lead. Clear by a car length now. Nook is going to dive it in there. Is Nook going to take a corner, set up the pass? No, he's not. He's going to try. He's going to have Trey trying to pass. Trey to the inside, down the back stretch. Now here comes Big Chris into the pack, right behind him. Big Chris just relaxing at the back, not exactly pushing it right now. Watching these guys battle, but he's going to follow Nico through on Trey, it looks like. He's to the inside. Trey comes down barely. Going to clear Trey into Nico. Trey almost around. Is he going to save it? No, he will not. Harden to the wall. Trey saves it, though, using the wall. Trey better say thank you to that wall later. Not exactly the best place you want to be, but in the wall might not be the favorite place. I believe Chris is just trying to chill at the back of his pack. He's not pushing the pace. He had an opportunity to go by Trey and let Trey back by him. So I think Chris is either relaxing at the back of his pack or it was when he hit the wall. I'm not sure, though. I think Chris could be fuel saving, folks. Could Big Chris be fuel saving now? It's a smart choice. I mean, if you go further than everyone else, I believe you may be able to make this on one stop. Battle for the lead, though, is not yet really kicked off. It's more just who can gain more time. Nook looking to not be able to gain. It looks to be Melon's winning that. The who can gain more time. Battle for third. Trey gonna get that. Now he's looking for second on Nook. Trey gonna get a run to Nook. I think down into 3. Trey seems to be a bit better on entry, but through the middle and on the exit, it seems like Nook is just slightly better. Nico still on Trey's bumper too. Nico not going away. Is now Melon. Nook has reeled him in. Trey has not quite been able to reel him in. Is Melon fuel saving as well with Chris? If you look back from Melon, you see a whole line of cars down the back stretch. This is a sight to see, folks. A really, really nice sight, and we love seeing this. We love seeing a nice big racetrack with a bunch of race cars on it. Some very pretty race cars out here. Melon's Talladega Nights Wonderbread machine. We got Nook in the Ride the Dente car. Probably my personal favorite car from this race. Maybe Chris's. Chris maybe up there with him. But I don't know. They're both really good schemes. Melon's is good too. Trey's is a little bit bland, but Trey's is good. The 18 car is nice. The 47 is like ravioli or something. Ravioli's not my favorite, but ravioli is not bad either. Ravioli is decent. Depends on what you got inside of it. Anyways, now you gotta wonder, Nook, he drives the Chili's car. How often does he actually eat at Chili's though? Is it like, does he have gift cards since he drives for them, or does he just, you know, occasionally go there whenever he has the money or the time? I guess when I can interview him post-race, folks, I will give you the answers you need. These are the important questions in racing. How often does a Chili-sponsored driver actually go to Chili's? And I'm sure these guys are hearing me in the stage and they're probably laughing at me. But I need to have a little bit of fun up here in the booth. I am quite bored. So laugh all you want. But it's probably Chris laughing, even though he said we were in the red flag position the other day, buddy. We didn't forget about that. Anyways, now folks, it looks like we have a battle for third. Trey and Nico falling back a bit from his lead duo. Nook still trying to get up there. Chris gonna bump Nico, who's gonna get into Trey. Chris looking up the inside. Chris now starting to press the gas pedal, putting the pedal to the floor. Nico gonna move Trey up the track. Chris gonna look to the middle. No, he will not. He will not make that 3 wide. Chris gonna dive to the inside now of Trey. Side by side, Nico slow in front. Chris hits his back bumper. Chris now leads, or I mean not Chris. Nico now takes the spot. Chris trying to fight back though. He cannot get clear of Trey. There seems to be a few cars that can just hold on the outside. They're just exceptionally good on the outside. Trey seems to be one of them. Nook seems to be a good one. Watermelon's good there on the outside. I haven't really seen many other drivers when they're fighting on the outside, though. Chris, let's see how he can do. Can he hold on the outside? No, he will not. He will get the cross over, however. Chris leading. Let's see. You know, folks, here's another interesting question. How much M&Ms do you think Nico has at his house? He's sponsored by the M&Ms Popped, right? Which are just like freeze-dried M&Ms. Good. Very, very yummy. I enjoy them, folks. But how much M&Ms does he have at his house? Does he have like an unlimited lifetime supply since he drives for them? I wonder. Also, contact. Chris gonna bump Nico big, and that's gonna get Trey out in the lead. Chris, or not in the, oh my gosh, the lead of this pack. Excuse me. Chris on the apron, he's gonna come up. Does not seem happy with Nico. Or he just couldn't turn. Nico in the wall. Now Vec's gonna look to get him. Chris a ways back from Trey. Now we got a battle for 5th. It's gonna be Nico, but Vec's looking up the outside for a minute. Vex gonna go back to the outside off of 2. Vex is gonna hold serve in 6 though. And now Vex gonna dive it up the inside. Nico with a bad corner. Vex gonna take the spot with a bit of contact. It was not a dirty move. It was just the way it played out. I could understand though why Nico is upset. To be fair, he really probably shouldn't have even been back here in the first place. It is partially Chris's fault, but it looked like that move looked fair game by Chris. I mean, Nico forced him down. Chris was just trying to get back up and got pushed. So I would say that move's fair game. The officials said that's fair game. Trey says he has some bad damage. He's got to pull it into the garage, folks. Trey will be done today. A fan favorite done for the day. How upsetting is that? Trey looks like he's having a good race, too. Well, folks, I know one thing. We're going to miss him here. He always gives us decent interviews, at least. He's a funny guy off track if you need him. But it's okay. We'll miss Trey. Trey, I love you if you're listening still. No, I'm kidding. But, good luck in your future ventures, sir. There is not much action on track for me to talk about, folks. So, let's talk about this racetrack. In the Nashville area, I believe there is another racetrack here too, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. The Nashville Fairgrounds. Short track, it's very banked. It's almost like a mix of Bristol and Martinsville, kind of. Like layout-wise, it looks like Martinsville. It's not long straights, but it's a bit longer than Bristol. I mean, in comparison, though, it looks like. But that's the banking of Bristol in the corners. I mean, for the Karens that complain about the noise from race cars, you can cry. We are bringing race cars back there if we want to bring race cars back there. Sue if you wanna, but you're a butthead, Karen. Oh, wait. It looks like little Chris is back alive. Little Chris. Oh my gosh. Hi, little Chris. Little Chris, if you can hear me, I hope you know I'm rooting for you to win this race. I doubt you will, but I'm rooting for you, buddy. Mainly just because I want you to. I just don't want your brother to win because I think it'd be hilarious. Because I want to hear him crash out in his post-race interview. It'd be so funny, not gonna lie. Can we all just stop in the last lap and screw Big Chris up and then Little Chris wins? It'd be so funny. He can brag to him forever. Is this his debut race? Because if this is his debut, it'd be even funnier. Race official, Brunswick. Is this Little Chris's debut race? Has he ever raced before? Nico into the pits. Let's talk to race control. I don't know if it's Little Chris's debut or not. Yes, it is. Thank you, race control. I figured it was. I've never seen him. I've heard about him before. I heard that he was going to race a couple weeks ago. Never actually saw him do anything on that. So Nico going to pit though. He's going to come out a lap down. He looks like he's going to be about third in terms of where he is on track. He's going to be right behind Nook. Nook seems to be. Oh wait, Chris is the best on gas right now. The worst seems to be Vex and then Nook, I believe. Little Chris doesn't count because he merged. But, excuse me, folks. I apologize. But, yeah. Big Chris, could he be playing the long game in terms of strategy? This is going to be a very interesting race. There's terms of strategy. Little Chris being told to pit with the leader by race control. That is I like that call very much by race control. It is a very smart call, and I would have made the same one. So good job, race control. So let's see now. So now we have Vex looking to drive down the big Chris with the little Chris behind him. Vex is in a Chris sandwich right now. I'm trademarking that, by the way, the Chris sandwich. We got Pickle, and then we got the little guy. Oh my goodness. Sorry, folks. I've been running around all day today. I'm a bit tired. Promise I won't fall asleep in the booth, though. I give race control full permission to slap me with the piece of pizza if I fall asleep. Vex to pit road. Nook in with him. Now we have two guys on pit road. Let's see where Nook comes out relative to the leader. The leader on the backstretch right now. Nook is out and away from his box. Melon in 3 and 4. It's going to be a race. Will this be just like usual? Nook going to come out a decent ways in front of the leader. Not quite a lap down, but almost. It looks like it. No, it looks like Nook might get a lap down. Something might have happened here on pit road, or it may have just been the gap that Melon already had before pits. I think that's just what it was. I think it was just the gap that Watermelon had. Because before, there was essentially no gap between the two of them before pits. You gotta wonder, though, when are the rest of these guys going to come into pits? Big Chris. Big Chris still needs to pit. Little Chris. And Melon. The rest of them have pitted. Little Chris being told to pit. I believe he should come in this time. Watermelon, though. Now Nook, is he defending the bottom and trying to make Watermelon miss pit road? That would be a smart play. If I'm the car behind, I am doing that. Melon gonna run it out with some of his last drops of fuel. Melon on pit road now. Little Chris was told to pit, so he should probably be coming in with him. I would guess that he does. It looks like he will. Oh, and Little Chris is gonna speed on pit road. I don't think Little Chris got pit speed. No, he did not. Maybe he did. Big Chris, though, like I said, I believe he was fuel saving earlier. It looked like he had more gas than everyone. So Big Chris now cycles to the lead. Looking to lap his little brother. The 47 with the drive-through penalty for speeding. Big Chris gonna lap Little Chris. The battle of the Chris's, but it wasn't really a battle because it only lasted half a second. Oh my gosh. I apologize, folks. Big Chris, though, let's see how long he's going to push it. It's a long game to strat here. Now, I'd say if no one else can make it, then yes, it's a smart strategy. But I believe the rest of these guys can make it on fuel from here. So I don't exactly understand the strategy by Chris, but I think he may just be open for a yellow. Because I believe everyone else is probably coming to top off. But everyone is so far apart that I doubt he's going to get that yellow. Okay, Chris now still leading, folks. Is there any battles on track? Let's see. Watermelon compared to Nook. Nook is a ways behind. The 47 being told that he must serve the drive-thru or he will get parked. through turn 2, and let's see now, will he serve it? He is in the wall off of turn 2, very slow in front of Nico. And now, let's see, 47 will not serve the drive-through. What will race control do here? Speaking of Chris's, though, when will Big Chris pit? Big Chris has got to be pitting soon. Little Chris being told this is his final chance to serve the drive-through. Let's see now. In 3 and 4. It looks like he will serve the drive-through this time. Finally coming down pit road. Gonna slow down in time this time. Now he will be probably 2 laps down. Nope, Big Chris finally coming into the pits to make his final stop of the race. What can he do after this stop, folks? Let's see where he will come out. Watermelon gonna take the lead back from Big Chris. Big Chris gonna come out in P3. So Big Chris in 3rd now behind Nook. We have Little Chris slow in front of the leader. You gotta wonder, what is he doing here? Is he just slow, or is there some alternative motive? We are coming to almost 10 to go. This race has flown by, folks. Little Chris now in front of the leader. Slows him up slightly. Not gonna do much to him though. May ruin his momentum a bit, but Little Chris now, I believe, maybe 3 laps down. I think he's at least 2. Into turn 3, folks. I just have nothing to talk about up here. Y'all ever had Wonder Bread? Tastes like normal bread. But, you know, I don't know. I really have nothing to talk about up here, folks. You guys can probably tell. I may fall asleep up here in the booth. Race is just so boring. Yeah, let's see how this race plays out. Watermelon looking to catch up to Nico to put him a lap down. I believe we are currently at 9 laps to go, folks. What a race it has been. Starts out for the first 50 laps, just back and forth from Melon to Nook, and Chris was even up there leading some laps. Chris with an incident with Nook, though, going to bring him back, brought him to the back. Chris probably had one of the fastest cars this race. Could have definitely won this if he just didn't get in that incident with Nook. For Chris, it's got to be just a what could have been type race. Nook as well Nook just kind of fell back after that mid-race yellow for the big flip by little Chris. So we got to think for Nook just didn't really have the time. Chris kind of stayed in the back playing the fuel saving game. The strategy didn't seem to end up working out for him. 7 to go now. And what a race Watermelon has done. If there were stages, he probably would have swept them. If there was an Xfinity fastest lap, he probably, actually I think there is. You know what, let's look at that for a minute, folks. Who has the fastest lap this race? It is Watermelon. By a 1/10 of a second over Nook and Chris, tied for second. Then it's Vex, Nico, Trey, Lil Chris. When did Jaden get in here? Zach and Connor was also in here at one point. How interesting. Oh, never mind. Chris now takes sole position of the second fastest lap spot. Sole possession of that. Is it a 6 to go? Big Chris, just what a race by him, man. He did a good job today. Didn't have enough. Got involved in that with Nook, and that put him in the back. No track position. Just what could have been. Now look at Watermelon catching up to the lap car of Nico. Little Chris and Nook having a battle. I don't know why Little Chris is battling him and not just letting him by. Go wreck your brother, for God's sake. I'm kidding. Do not do that. Big Chris, I hope you know I take no responsibility for his actions if he decides to listen to me. Anyways, but yeah, Watermelon with only 4 to go now is gonna put Nico lap down. But you gotta wonder, is Watermelon just gonna relax, let him stay on the lead lap, or is he gonna fight with him to keep him a lap down? Coming to 3 to go for Watermelon. I think he seems pretty relaxed. He doesn't seem too concerned with putting this car a lap down. He's not exactly holding him up that much. He does give him a bumper, though, down the front stretch. I think Nico's letting him by. Nico fighting back on the outside. Nico on the wall. Slight little tap, but that's going to be it in terms of that battle. Let's look back to Lil Chris and Nook. Little Chris takes a spot back, even though it's not actually a spot. Watermelon now, though, comes to 2 to go. What a race he has put on. He gonna come to the line, 2 laps to go for Watermelon. He's into 1 and 2 once again. He just wants to get back. See that white flag with no caution. Only real spot I'd say that we may get a yellow from is Nook and Little Chris. Let's keep an eye on these guys, see what's happening. They're door to door. Nook and Little Chris. Nook gonna nose ahead now. Little Chris gonna get into his door. Watermelon off turn 4 though. He's gonna see the white flag. Next flag ends the race. Watermelon into 1 and 2 for the final time. He has led almost every lap this race. He's led at least half of them for sure. He battled with Nook early on. Seemed to be struggling for some pace, pulling away. He dives into 3 and 4. But after that mid-race yellow, he was able to get into the lead and pull away. Watermelon comes off of turn 4. He's going to come to the line and win it in Nashville. What a race by Watermelon. What a battle from Nook and him early in the race. You can't give Nook enough credit. You can't give all these guys enough credit. This was a really good race. Little Chris may have been a little bit stupid at some points when he flipped it somehow. Watermelon on the back stretch. He's gonna do his burnouts right there in turn 2. It looks like. Wow. Wow, wow. Folks, what a race. Got a little boring there at the end. But, I'll take very interesting start to a very boring finish any day. As what a race Watermelon put together. Little Chris Can we get a Lil Chris interview after this? Big Brunswick, can we interview Lil Chris, please? I would like a Little Chris interview, please. I think it'd be hilarious. I want to interview both Chris's, but especially Little Chris. Watermelon took the fastest lap with a 32.3. Chris with 32.4 was the next fastest guy. Watermelon pulls into victory lane in front of the fans. They're all cheering and screaming his name. That's Watermelon! He just won the race, guys! Watermelon! Anyways, what a race he put together. Led so many laps, led at least half, if not more. You gotta wonder, too, if he could have just gotten away from Nook. Yo, Bronze, you're telling me I can't get an interview in there? I can't interview Lil Chris? Well, flip you. I want to interview Lil Chris. Anyways, that's gonna wrap it up as our race coverage here from Nashville, folks. Have